Welcome to the School of Wordcraft and Worldmancy. This is Feedback Frenzy.
Hello, I'm WriterGreg, and welcome to the School of Worldcraft and Worldmancy. It is time for a feedback frenzy where anyone could submit 1,500 words of fiction or a world-building article at wgc.bz/submit, where you will be able to receive a feedback, a critique, or a review of the content here live on twitch.tv/WriterGreg. What we are going to be doing for this session, for this feedback, is we are visiting Vasea, the Vasea homepage, written by Mykola Void, the Palace of the Great Dragon. All right, so let's just zoom out here a little bit. I love the picture. Okay, it looks like we got a straightforward article. It doesn't look like we have any images here. I really like the ethereal smoke image. I find those kind of images kind of really cool. All right, so let's see. Okay, a building associated with governance, leadership, or change, associated with an entry for World Building Summer Camp 2022, an important building. Okay, alternative names: Imperial Palace, Dragon Hall, Jewel of Etherian, Palace of Alathea, Thea? Oh, yeah, pronunciations at your own risk. I'm not sure what you said there, just as. If you want to elaborate on that, I would appreciate it. Okay, Palace of the Great Dragon. The Palace of the Great Dragon is an ancient building that stands proud, watch over the empire. Once a place of violence and tyranny, its legacy has been reclaimed and changed to one of hope and prosperity. Okay, so it stands to watch. Okay, I think a little bit of the grammar here. That stands proud to watch, or stands proud watching. I think we need a different verb variation on the watch verb here to make this sentence clear, because it stands, I think, is more of an adverb as opposed to the watch. Okay. Once a place of violence and tyranny, comma, its legacy, okay, IT apostrophe S is a confusing thing, because the IT apostrophe S is a contraction from it is, as opposed to the possessive form of ITS without the apostrophe. Most times in English, you put the apostrophe S to signify possession. This is the one exception to that rule where the opposite is true, because yay English. So this should be ITS, its legacy. Once a place of violence and tyranny, comma, its legacy has been reclaimed and changed to one of hope and prosperity. Okay, purpose and slash function. The palace serves as home to Rirha, the emperor of Alathea. Alathea? I don't know. It's also the central seat of government for the empire, and where most audiences with the emperor are held. Now, this is a good place right here where we can start throwing in some tool tips to help with the pronunciation of the different words. Over here, if you had a tool tip for Etherean or Aletheia over here in the side as well would also be greatly appreciated. Okay, this is a kind of one thing that as I have been working through a lot of my editing, I have found that I write extremely passively in my nonfiction. And so I'm kind of hyper aware of it right now. Okay, and so this sentence, it is also the central seat of government for the empire and where most audiences with the emperor are held. This is a passive sentence because it's focusing, it's put, the subject here is it. And so I'm still of a, in writing fiction, never have a passive sentence. But with writing nonfiction, I think they're sometimes okay for style reasons, for clarity and stuff like that. But I just want to point it out that this could be that you could change this sentence to say, instead of having the palace serving as the subject, you could change it to an individual. And I think that's why my nonfiction gets tagged with being a passive voice, because it is a non-human being the subject that still takes action. Like here, you could say the emperor holds most of his audiences within the palace, period. And then you could say the government of the empire uses the palace as the central seat. You could work this around. It's iffy if you want to do it. I'm not a super stickler in nonfiction passive sentences because I believe it's more important to have the topic of the sentence, the main concept of the paragraph, being the subject or receive the most focus, even if it makes that sentence slightly passive. So that's just my 2 cents. Take it for what you will. Okay, alterations. The building underwent a complete overhaul when the empire was founded, leaving the general architecture and a few elements of the original in place, but changing almost everything else to better suit Ray and his image of the future. Okay, all right. The changes served to the purpose of cleaning the slate of what the palace had represented and ushering in a new era. Okay, I really like the concept that you're talking about here. The point of the alterations, having it be a clean slate cutting out. I really like the concept here. What I have highlighted at the top of here is a very long sentence that does not follow my much talked about rule of having one idea per sentence, one concept per paragraph. The concept that you have here, the alterations, is very well focused. However, the sentences themselves are a little over-encumbered, so it makes it hard to hold all of that information into your mind because it's still just one sentence. Okay, the building underwent a complete overhaul when the empire was founded. Okay, that is a complete thought. Period. Okay, you could just have that because, yep, this is why it went. Okay. Okay, so and this is your second idea. So you're saying why it was changed. This second highlight here, leaving the general architecture and a few elements of the original in place, but changing almost everything else. This is your second idea. What changed. So we have why changed, now we have what changed. And this could be its own idea or its own sentence. You really don't need to say, but changing almost everything else. You can focus on one, what did change, two, what didn't change, but you don't need to do both. We can extrapolate from the information that you said few elements of the original in place. So we know that very few things. We don't need to be told that everything else changed. So you can tell, I would recommend you tell us A or B. You don't need to tell us A and B. And that will shorten your sentence. It'll give more punch. And whether you choose A or B is your choice on what you want to emphasize more. Do you want to emphasize the things that remained? Or do you want to focus on everything that changed? In this paragraph, it seems to me that it would be more important to focus on the things that had changed because, well, we have why it was changing, who did the changing, the reason why it was so important to change it. So let's focus on how almost everything changed. Okay, leaving the general architecture and a few elements of the original place, but changing almost everything else. So yeah, you could say it the palace was gutted for everything except the stonework. All of the tapestry, all of the windows, all of the decorations. Tell us what left behind, because you're telling us general architecture. I don't know what general architecture is. You do? I might have a guess, but I'm not sure what that means. So if you tell us they tore it down to bare walls, they re-stuccoed, or they put new plaster, or they covered the beams. We could get a lot more understanding of what the palace looked like because we know what changed. All right. So, yeah. Okay. All right. To better suit Ray and his image for the future. Okay. So this part of the sentence goes back to why it happened. So here, this first part, you have a why. This third part of the sentence is also a why, and then you have a what in the middle. So I would put the whys together and the what, and separate the what out. Now, you can have multiple sentences on why. You could have multiple sentences on what. If you do that, I would split those out into 2 paragraphs. The changes serve to the changes serve to the purpose, for the purpose of cleaning the slate of what the palace had represented and ushering in a new era. Armstrong says, yeah, I'd love some details in this area, or maybe move it after the architecture section, since it looks like those details might be in that section. Okay, yeah, we do have the architecture, defense, history. Okay. So yeah, so there's a lot you could do on this. Let's make a new rule. When we talk about one idea per sentence, one concept per paragraph, we actually have multiple concepts: who, what, where, when, why, and how. Okay, that could all be one paragraph if there's only one sentence per. There's a who sentence, a what sentence, a why sentence, a when. Okay, you have those 5 sentences. If you only have one of each, then you can have that in one paragraph. However, if you start having 2 whats, 3 whys, then you need to start splitting them up into multiple paragraphs. Again, I am a huge proponent of short sentences, short paragraphs to increase the scannability and allow people to focus specifically on what they're coming to the article for. So, all right. Sorry. All right. The palace of the great dragon was built to accommodate dragons in both of their forms, making for what would be an intimidating size if not for the intricate carvings and stonework that went into its creation. Okay, again, need to change its. The tall white marble walls are carved to look like large trees decorated with gold veining as well as stained glass accents. Ooh, that's that. See, okay. Marble walls carved like trees with gold veining. That is a beautiful description that provides a lot of fodder for my brain to be able to understand it. Okay, I'm going to do something different. This is going to be weird. It's okay. I am going to take this paragraph and I'm going to drop it into Midjourney. Okay, I like this idea. We're going to see what Midjourney thinks of the content of this paragraph. What kind of picture does an artificial intelligence think of this? I got to have an excuse of why I'm subscribed to this thing. And so I think I'm going to start doing this. Yes, ooh, that's my favorite trick. Yes, Kiddo Poi, I learned it from you.
Greg, wake up.
Yes.
Greg, you need to be writing
I really
or
need to shorten this
editing.
audio.
Greg!
Yes, happy time zone to you, kid. Are you subscribed? Yes, I am a subscriber. So anyway, let's just let that play for a little bit. Okay. Again, the sentences are really long, but that won't matter to Midjourney. You're not. No. It's okay, kid. I invoked your name. I should endure the wrath of Garfield and James. Every door to the palace is accented by archways carved to look like bending, intertwined trees with stained glass leaves. The doors themselves, okay, period. Good. Okay, good sentence. The doors themselves are heavy bronze constructions emblazoned with crests of the great dragons and outlined with the crests of every kingdom that is part of the empire. Large obsidian rings held by intricately designed Zikran dragon heads serve as the handles for the doors, overall making the site rather impressive. Okay, all right, really good here. The shorter sentences, short first sentence. Yeah, that's it. It was a focus sentence on that one. Okay. Large stained glass windows adorn the walls depicting scenes of religious or historical significance to all the people of Aletheia. Each window was with smaller versions of the arches around the doors. Each window with smaller versions of the arches around the doors. Okay. The roofs of the palace also feature many stained glass skylights casting a rainbow of color along the walls inside. Ooh. Are they in a location that doesn't snow or doesn't rain a lot or Is this magically enforced stained glass that is in the roof? I would be concerned about the structural integrity of stained glass that is in a roof, especially in a medieval style fantasy castle. That is a beautiful description. And I have no objection to the description. I'm just a little concerned about its structural integrity and ability to do that. But yeah, and this middle sentence here, each window with smaller versions of the arches around the doors. I'm a little confused about those descriptions right there. All right, let's go back to Mid-Journey. Oh, oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that is awesome. Okay. We're going to upscale one and get variations on one. I think we have a new toy to play with. The palace is surrounded by large walls of the same marble as the palace itself. And just for giggles, I'm going to refresh that, re-roll the dice. I can, because I'm on slow mode. I hope I'm on relax. Am I on? Yes, I'm on relax. Okay. I intentionally leave everything on relax because I'm cheap. Okay. The Palace of the Great. Okay, defense. The palace is surrounded by large walls of the same marble as the palace itself. These walls house several beacons and alarms in case of danger. Beyond the walls, however, the grounds of the palace. Beyond the walls, however, the grounds of the palace. Okay, we got some weird um, missing and extra commas in this sentence. Beyond the walls, however, the grounds of the palace, while beautiful, house a large barracks, enough to home a decently sized army. Okay, so I would say, like, beyond the walls lie the grounds, the palace grounds, period. While, uh, while beautiful, there is a house, there is a large barracks situated on the edge, in the middle, at the far end. Where is it situated? And enough to home a decently sized army. What's a decently sized army? 100? 500? Is it only, it's described here as a singular house, but could it be, are they only the generals and the commissioned officers, while the foot soldiers or non-commissioned NCOs, the non-commissioned officers, they're still, I mean, using army terms. It's like lieutenants and above, but the sergeants and the non-commissioned officers, but the privates and the grunts, the foot soldiers live somewhere else. I don't know. The Palace of the Great Dragon. Okay, no, I'm sorry. We started something with Mid-Journey here. Okay, see, that was the re-roll. Let's take a look at, see, the re-roll here. See, that is just absolutely gorgeous. It does have a lot of okay, the pagoda has a pagoda style, so this does invoke the um, Eastern style of architecture, but I think we still have some cool stuff in there. These are absolutely gorgeous with these dragons. Again, with the a pagoda, Oh, that version up to, yeah, let's just take, see that is just, you know, so it's not that I'm trying to design or dictate anything about it. I'm just saying it is interesting to see what an artificial intelligence does with the image with the words that you've described. If you don't like anything that you're seeing, or if this is coming something different, maybe you need to add more of the details. Adding more information about it will be able to help you know what you'd like. And Mykola Void, I will, you know, maybe you're not here in the chat. I might just DM these to you. Just to, for you to enjoy. All right. The palace of the Great Dragon used to be the home of the Dragon Queen, a historically tyrannical regime that sought dominion over all. Excellent introductory sentence. Excellent. They did not care for other races and saw them only as servants and pests and fought amongst themselves constantly. The palace was originally built to house the queen as well as show the significant wealth and power she held. This all changed, however, when Rai defeated his fellow dragons. Oh, Rai's a dragon? Okay. And brought down the oppressive regime. Since then, it has served as the heart of the peaceful and prosperous empire he built on the ashes of his own kind. Okay. Really good history. We need a second paragraph. Because within the one idea per sentence, one concept per paragraph, we have two concepts that you've described here, before and after. We have the queen, and then we have Ray. So I would just simply chop that into a second paragraph. People travel from all over the empire to see the palace, and there are a few halls within that are open to the public, though they are monitored closely. Beyond that, people often seek out audiences with Ray himself. There is an audience within the palace for requesting such. Okay, I do like the tourism. That's good to know. We could expand a little bit upon that as well. You could have that be two paragraphs, because this is what the tourists do. This is what the people who are seeking official audiences do. Because it's not exactly tourism, so you could just do that. Greg is reminding me to go through my old articles and put in any descriptive text I find. Yep. But yeah, and see that, and this is one thing I'm going to start doing with my own writing. Yeah. But this is just a wonderfully creative article about the Palace of the Great Dragon. Awesomes. Okay, what's awesome? The transformation. I like the concept of the transformation from the evil queen to the new Ray. Bored. Was I bored in anything? I have a hard time being bored when I'm reading world building articles. So really, I'm not. No, I'm not. I wasn't bored. Confused. A lot of issues with sentence lengths, commas, the it's, going through and making sure you have one idea per sentence, one concept per paragraph, one theme per section. By going through and meticulously looking at all of that, I believe that you would be able to greatly improve the clarity of the article itself. Delete. What would I delete? No. It's a good article. All of the information I think here is pertinent to the Palace of the Great Dragon. I'd only want to know more. Okay? I'd shuffle some things around, but that ties back to the, ideas, concepts, and themes you're trying to do here. I really wouldn't go beyond that, just shuffling that. Expanding tool tips with pronunciations would be a wonderful blessing for me and my inability to pronounce things. More description, more, the thing with the mid-journey thing here, it went the assumption of, I guess because of the use of the word dragons, it went with a more Eastern style of architecture with the pagodas. But man, that is so beautiful. I'm gonna upgrade version 4 because that's awesome too. Okay. Yeah, so there's just a lot of the descriptions that you have are very clean and very straightforward, but man, there's so much wonderful potential for additional descriptions to paint a picture in my head so that there's less doubt of what this is. Because in here, I don't know what kind of dragon we have. Is it I have that picture. Let's see. Maybe I can search for it. Types of dragons. Ah, found it. Oh, yay. I love this picture here. Okay. Because we have different types of dragons that we have here. So I don't know. I mean, we have the traditional 4-legged, 2-winged dragon, but I don't know if it's more of a lung, a verm, a salamander, is it a drake? And see my favorite mad chicken, the cockatrice, because honestly, this is what I thought of during the D&D one-shot. I thought it was a tiny dragon. This is what I thought, honestly. I didn't know what a cockatrice was. So I was thinking of this pink little tiny dragon. So, yeah, so this I really like this image because then once we know what kind of dragon you have, we can better understand what kind of architecture you have. Because if we just say dragon, any one of these images could pop into our head. So, yeah, not sure on that. Yeah, love this picture. Okay, so thank you so much, Mykola Void, for allowing me to dissect this and provide some feedback. I hope that you find this helpful. If you or others wish to submit yourselves to the same kind of critiquing and on your world of fiction or world building articles, please visit wgc.bz/submit, where you too can submit your articles for a feedback. All right, so thank you so much and keep on writing.
Thanks for watching this feedback frenzy. Be sure to show your support by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the notification bell. WriterGreg offers coaching sessions to help bring your world to life, create compelling stories, and accomplish your creative goals. Please visit wgc.bz/coaching for more details.